Okay, so this has to be said. I was talking to my sister this evening, and I was pretty much telling her about the backlash I've received on 2 videos. The first one being my commentary about sororities and fraternities. I was referencing the D9. The second one being about Christmas. Now, the thing with humans is that we're naturally defensive. Anything that challenges our norm automatically is typically met with defensiveness. I remember when I was reading scripture and God led me to a particular scripture that changed my entire outlook on life. I'm taking from the Amplified version, and Jesus was saying this: "At that time, many will be offended and repelled by their association with me, and will fall away from the one whom they should trust, and will betray one another, handing over believers to their persecutors, and will hate one another." This passage is actually talking about the end times. And when I read how people would be offended, it made me look at myself, because I'm someone who typically does get offended when you try to tell me about myself, especially if you try and tell me about my walk with God. Who are you to tell me about myself in my walk? You don't know me. But when God showed me that scripture, it made me realize that even though human nature has us automatically on the defense, if I'm not careful, there could be someone who is giving me a message from God, but because I am operating in the flesh and I am so defensive, I am unable to actually receive that message. So I do want to urge you all, because I can see there's so much defensiveness. And I understand that it's human nature to react when you feel as though you're being challenged. Please go to God in prayer about these things. Please seek his face. Do not be quick to be defensive on things, especially if people are saying this is scriptural. I understand that there are conversations that one person's personal conviction is not applicable to others, which is very true. However, there are some things that are just flat out bad for Christians, period, and it's not a thing of personal conviction. I say all this to say that as a church, we really need to start doing the internal work and stop being offended by everything, even if the packaging is in peace and love and not accusatory. Because when it's all said and done, you do not want to be that person who is constantly offended and you miss the message of Jesus Christ because you are so busy operating in the flesh that you just don't even want to hear the message. If my tone is coming off as hard, I apologize, y'all, but this is something that's really been in my heart today. My prayer is that we're all found worthy to enter into God's kingdom, because truth be told, ain't none of us perfect. Be blessed.